The other thing is now the president pushing harder. And we'll get into this, by the way, in the final hour of the program of today, opening the country and reopening it safely. There's a website that has opened up, and it's called reopenamericanow.org. And it's to help urge your local, state, federal officials to save the U.S. and get Americans back to work. I was actually pretty shocked and interested to see that there's a local News 12 station. It's a Long Island television news station that had a reporter go out. There was a big protest in Comac, Long Island, and a lot of people were there and demanding they reopen the country and yelling at the guy that he's fake news. And much worse. It was pretty entertaining. Poor guy couldn't handle it. He looked upset. Anyway, Rick Manning is here. He is the president of Americans for Limited Government, former Labor Department official. All right. So the second quarter shot, we know that. Now the question is, all right, that's April, May, June. If we start in July, if we can open up the country and open it up safely, I think we're beginning to see success stories emerge. We know a decline with the opening in Florida of 15% decline in cases. That's great news. I was a little skeptical of Georgia. I'm less skeptical. Down 12% with the reopening there. We've learned that people are getting very creative for opening up nail salons and the like, and restaurants even are now building out models with plexiglass, people wearing masks and putting in new ventilation systems. And people are getting creative. I know that sports teams are preparing to do anything possible. Have these thermo turnstiles. Everyone's temperature's taken. Everybody's given a team mask. Everybody has to drink their beer through a straw and take a quick bite of their hot dog and put it back on. Rick, is that all possible by July?
Well, I think it's possible. Here's the key. We have the private sector is anxious and ready to go. They're ready to move this country forward and get out of this malaise that we've been put in as we focus on this virus. The critical piece that's different, Sean, is that we are now in a position where we know so much more than we did 3 months ago. We have so many innovators who are working to defeat this virus that's going to happen. The question is, are we going to survive economically in the interim? Opening up the country helps us survive, helps those small businesses get back to work, and puts America back to work. And that's what we need to do, because this is a two-part process. We have to defeat the virus, but we also have to keep ourselves solvent in the process.
Well, I mean, you can see the American people want to open up. Look, I'm a broken record, but there are anecdotal amounts of evidence out there that we know that states that didn't protect their elderly population. On March 25th, Governor Cuomo signed an executive order forcing nursing homes, long-term care facilities to accept from hospitals COVID-19 positive patients. And that's where fully a third of New York deaths took place. Then on March 29th, 4 days later, Pennsylvania, Governor Wolf there, he made the same dumb mistake. Then on April 6th, Governor Murphy, New Jersey, he made the same dumb mistake. And they were making dumber mistakes in Michigan, where Whitmer is, but they wouldn't allow you to cut your lawn. So the question here is, okay, we should be able to learn from that, and we also should be able to learn from all of the people that were stocking the store shelves that kept New Yorkers and Long Islanders fed the entire time during the height of this pandemic, because they wore their gloves and masks, and the guys I talked to never got sick because I talked to them all the time.
No, you're exactly right. In fact, every governor in the nation should be forced to get a tutorial from Florida Governor Ron DeSantis on how to do this, because he protected their elderly population in Florida while keeping a relatively free economy in the process. He took a lot of grief for that, but the fact is, Florida did not end up with the problems in the nursing homes that many of these other states have. Listen, I've got a stepsister who's in an equivalent of a nursing home facility right now, where they've had four staff members confirmed positive for COVID, because they used half the facility for COVID, half the facility for regular patients. And she's scared to death right now because she doesn't have her results back, but she's scared to death she's going to have this, because that'd be a death sentence for her. So this is personal with me. These governors who've done this, these governors who've put seniors at risk over this by putting people with the virus in their facilities, those governors are responsible, and they're guilty of what's tantamount to a manslaughter at this juncture. I'm really, really concerned that not become national policy as people like Nancy Pelosi would like for it to become.
All right, last word. If we say to China, we're not going to pay back the debt you're holding, What are the ramifications of that? I would imagine other countries would be, well, less likely to buy up some of the debt, which we're obviously taking on right now.
Well, at a time when we're printing about $6 trillion more than we bring in.
About that time, yeah, exactly. You and I are thinking the same way.
It'd be foolish for us to effectively make it so our debt was not purchasable by the rest of the world. But we could do a debt swap between the debt that Americans hold of old Chinese bonds from before Mao took over, and basically do a debt swap with our Treasury and create that wealth here and take it off how much we owe China in terms of that kind of a deal, and that would keep our sovereign dollar being really strong while effectively having China pay the price.
All right, I appreciate it. Thanks so much for your time, Rick Manning. By the way, Rick Manning's website, reopenamericanow.org, if you want to go sign it. All right, let's get to our busy phones.